Hello and welcome to season 4 of the Holler Podcast. We have a slightly new updated look. It's not the way it's supposed to exactly look yet, but we're working on some things and we'll have everything updated by next week for sure. But nonetheless, we are back for season 4 of the Holler Podcast, season 4 of the Butt Kicker Cup series. And I am joined by my two co-hosts as normal, Carl Pooler and Richard Wolsifer. How are you gentlemen doing? How was your off season?
Yeah, it was I'm doing all right. Off season was nice and kind of relaxing, as relaxing you can be with a newborn, but other than that it was fine. Richard, how about yourself?
Believe it or not, I hardly really touched iRacing at all. I think I did 2 real races. Other than that, I just kind of chilled, relaxed, and then like it got closer to the start of the season, and then I was antsy to get back on track. So yeah, no, it was good off season. Glad to be back though.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have you guys back. We also have our disembodied voice, Robert Moyer, back with us in the background. We can still hear him, and y'all still can't. But good to have a band back together. Deal with it. It was nice to have five weeks off, but we're already back to where we picked off last season. Robert's already asking for PTO for this season, but
I know, right?
want to thank everyone for tuning in. Obviously, the first episode. Again, it's a little discombobulated being back, and it I feel like I tried to prepare as much as I could on my end. I guess graphic side, this kind of stuff, podcast side, and all that stuff during the off season is just it came so quick. I feel like
you started a new job and you were also doing a lot of the backwards stuff of trying to get the league set up and prepared and ready for the season 4 start. So you're doing a lot of that legwork as well. So you had a lot on your plate. So I just we're here. We're finally back. Totally. And it's good.
It is good. And we have some new sponsors actually. Obviously we got to mention thank you, big shout out to Butt Kicker returning. In addition to Butt Kicker returning, Sundance Pizza returning. Obviously, I think those two, without them two alone, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and everyone else contributing is just a additional benefit. Obviously, we have Maddox Graphics now on board as a contingency sponsor. Love to have them. They do great work, so reach out to the Maddox brothers if you need any paints or any graphic design needs. Obviously, Ideal Lease and Ascendance Trucks are back with us. Obviously, Advanced GG. And a new face, I guess a more prominent spot is RevSimShop.com. Our beloved Rev, Race Control Rev, running his RevSimShop.com for any race control needs, paints, button boxes, etc. And I don't know have we even announced the Rev Sim Shop information? Should we go ahead and
I think it's up to Rev.
I think we should tease it for a little bit. There's something coming out.
Yeah, there's something coming out attached to Rev Sim Shop for someone in the league to win.
We probably should announce that soon so people don't miss out on the opportunity to win it because of the requirements that are required to win it. So it definitely needs to be announced probably before the next race.
Is you will want to be at every race if you want to win something. Is all I'm gonna say. You will have to be at every single race. So you can probably guess it, yes, Robert. I mean, it's not something super secretive, but it's a big deal for us and for Rev. But in addition to that, Performance Food Group is joined on with us as well. And yeah, a whole bunch of new faces, faces on the sponsorship side, I guess, but same faces in the league. And well, we did have some new drivers. I don't remember what was the actual number. Was it 8 rookies?
11?
11 rookies?
Yeah, we
was
have
11. Yeah,
I
want
to say
it was a decent amount.
I want to say it's just over the 2-digit.
Yeah,
over the 2-digit. That just seems so anticlimactic. But yeah,
not really. I mean, to have 10 rookies in a new season,
it's 25%, give or take. Honestly, it's really great, and I think we have right around 10 people on the wait list too, for this season. So that's technically 20 plus new people, and we didn't even run any recruitment races. I think that just comes to show of how far we've gone or how far we've come. but it's awesome. And my rhythm of normal podcasting and show rhythm is just completely off after these 5 weeks, I guess it's been now. But man, our show is also going to take a little bit of a change this season. In seasons past, it has been very long, obviously, with I feel like once we get into the NASCAR talk is really when it gets long, or not even just NASCAR talk, just motorsport talk in general. And Richard pointing at Carl. Carl can get a little sidetracked at times, but we all can. And I think one of our goals this year is to kind of limit the length of these podcasts to try to be, ideally in my head, they're right around an hour. Maybe even a little bit less at times. Really just cover big league news, get some engagement with y'all. We have some new, I guess, interactions that y'all can have during the podcast. During the when we pick a winner for next week, we're gonna pull the YouTube comments as well, and get y'all's response, so y'all have a pick as well, and y'all have a say. And you can go head to head against the greats that each got 1 or 2 right last year. So no, it should be a good time. But I digress. I've been talking for a lot. Is there anything else I missed, or y'all want to chime in on before we even get into Daytona and everything like that?
I do kind of want to go off and be like, I was impressed by the gravity that we had of drivers coming from all over, even before season 3 ended. Like, we already had people coming in and wanted to race. And then now, seeing 42 cars at Daytona, looking at the broadcast on the initial green flag, lap 0 was absolutely amazing. And then we have this wait list, and it's just really fun and exciting to see this kind of activity in the league and the driving in the league, and we'll get to it, but really Daytona was, for a first race with that many new drivers, was relatively tame, and we'll get into that. But I just got to give a shout out to everyone. I had a good time, even though I was in the back most of it. I really, for the most part, I had a good time, and I'm really looking forward to this season.
Yeah, I'm blown away by the amount of drivers that wanted to join, that want to be a part of our league, that even are willing to sit on a wait list for their chance to come and race with us. That's awesome to see. To have, like Carl, just said, we're going to talk about it later, but 42 guys in the opening race, which technically started 41 because Adam had an issue with his computer, sadly.
Yeah.
But still, 41 cars on track for the drop of the green flag is a impressive number for the 4th season of us running, when season 1 and season 2 the numbers were kind of abysmal for a league. I mean, we were just starting, so it's not terrible. Like, we still had a lot of fun, we still put on good show. I mean, we had a little bit of a hiccup in season 3 with a lot of cautions, and the one change that we all didn't want to see that we ended up seeing completely shifted the dynamic of how people raced on the track. And just watching 42 guys on the track at Daytona still race with that same amount of respect, and the amount of cautions that we could have had that we didn't, was just another example of how well everyone races in this league, and the amount of respect that we all have for each other. And it's I can't wait to build more upon that, and see where the rest of this season goes with the more difficult tracks that we go to.
Yeah, and I hate to be devil's advocate here, but I'm really interested to see when we go to a standard 1.5 miles next week at Texas, to see how much quote unquote respect is going to be out there. And I know a lot of us took that break during the off season and really didn't touch our sim that much. I know some people love to still run officials and whatnot, or other leagues. But I feel like it's going to be a real wake up call once we get to our first real track next Tuesday of, oh wow, I completely forgot how to drive for a minute, or something like that. It's going to be a couple weeks of people trying to get used to everything with the car and tracks again. So Texas could be an interesting one, but Daytona was also an interesting one, depending on who you were.
Next
Man.
level was not next level.
It was, yeah, that's very true. It was a very unnext level race. It was very disappointing all around. But yeah, we can get right into it. Obviously, Dustin Stallings, a fantastic finish at the end of that race, and Dustin Stallings getting it at, I don't know, last couple hundred feet. Insane.
I
Absolutely
mean, it was
insane.
what, a 100th of a second difference
Yep.
between him and Selby finished backward.
Yeah.
I mean, it was they were four wide. Selby was backward. And it was Stallings, Selby, Rogers, and then Johnny Wood Jr. for a four wide finish at Daytona. Like you couldn't ask for a better photo-esque like finish at Daytona than that. And that is a typical Daytona finish you want to see. It was exciting to watch. So
Oh
just
man,
fantastic work for Dustin Stallings also being involved in a wreck earlier as well. So
Mhm.
that was something that needs to get uploaded to the iRacing Top 10. I think that get debuted on their YouTube channel. But man, it was a really fun race to watch back and go through the energy. And there was, I don't think there was really any downtime. There was a couple times where that outside line was kind of like, not really going anywhere. But there was very little downtime. And fun fact. Not a single car that ran a lap at Daytona ended with 0 incident points. Everyone had
Oh,
at
wow.
least 4.
That's
So
that's an interesting stat.
everyone had at one point or another a really rough night. I think at some point everyone had a ding fender here or there. So that's another thing to have the finish that we did, and just the amount of cars that were on the lead lap at the end of it. I think that was also pretty remarkable as well.
yeah, and if you're new to the league and you're just tuning into our first podcast here at the Holler Podcast, Carl Pooler is our official statistician, so he's going to throw out some weird ass stats that you might not think about, but this is what Carl looks up. He finds fun in it, so be prepared for a wild ride.
Hey,
But,
at least we're gonna cut back on the IRL stuff, so I think that's a
Yes.
saving grace.
that should help us with you. But wanting to welcome in Kyle and Matthew Corder here for tuning in. I know y'all typically y'all haven't been here with us. Kyle, this is your first season, and Matthew, it's been a minute, but welcome in. Going back to another fun stat, the top 4 all finished within 6 100ths of each other, which is kind of ridiculous. And going to the checkered, Gavin Rogers, I think, had the biggest choice of all. He was the one that could influence how it ended. He could have gone down low with Dustin. He could have gone up high with Johnny, and he just decided to try to push through Matthew Selby, and it didn't work out, unfortunately, for him at the end. But man, it was awesome to see. I think I'm going to say it's a big surprise to me, at least. Christian Barnes leading the most laps, winning stage 1. Him and Zach King there at the end of stage 1, I believe, finished 1-2. So a great start to the season for Maverick Motorsports in that aspect. Oh, sorry.
I'm
What's
sure
the
the Maddox
difference?
brothers are not.
What's the difference? I'm sorry. I kid.
I was actually being defensive against them, but hey.
But no, I mean, it was a good start to the season. I know Zach King didn't get the finish he wanted, but they were running strong. Again, I mean, I'm not going to really take much from Daytona from a lot of these drivers because it is Daytona, and a lot of these new guys, it's a crapshoot. I mean, I finished 30th. I think that tells you all you need to know. Some nights are just not your nights, and some nights are your nights. But real quick, right through the top 10, we got Dustin Stallings first, Matthew Selby 1/100th behind, Gavin Rogers third, 18 1,000ths behind, and then Johnny Wood Jr. fourth, 61 1,000ths behind. So again, really close there. Fifth, Ronnie Osmer. I hope I'm saying your name right, Ronnie. A rookie with a top 5, a good start to the season. Patrick Hernandez bringing it home in 6th. Great way to start for him. I know he had a lot of downs, I think, last season. So hopefully getting started on the right
top
foot.
10 coming for him.
Yes, definitely. He ran up front when I saw him most of the night. It felt like once he got up there, he kind of stayed up there. I don't know if he got involved in an incident at some point. I don't think he did. But he had the pace all night. Richard, yourself, good top 10, finishing 7th. Nothing wrong with that. Christian Barnes, 8th. Dylan Yeager, Dylan Yeager in 9th. And then Matthew Corder rounding out the top 10. Carl just barely missing out on your top 10. But still, nonetheless, you can't be too upset with 11th at Daytona in a 40-plus car field. So all in all, no big surprises. I really thought Matthew won it at the end. I mean, I was seconds behind the pack, so I couldn't really see anything. But my my black box said Selby, and I was like, "Oh, congratulations!" Like he finally got one, and then it changed like at the last minute. Dustin, I was like, "Oh, we got to start to the season already," and Dustin already has a monkey off the back. Watch out! He's gonna be coming for more wins, I bet you, this season.
Well, I mean, not only that, but it's another. If you want to go facts, okay, there was
Please.
only 2 drivers that finished in the top 10 that started in the top 10. Just doing some rough math, the average driver that's their start position in the top 10 is like 20th. So really, if you started back there, yeah, Dustin Stallings, who won the race, started 14th. Matthew Selby started 27th. Gavin started 7th. Johnny Wood Jr. he started 40th. Ronnie Osmer started 23rd. Patrick Hernandez 34th. Richard yourself started 28th. Christian Barnes started 20th, and he won the first stage, by the way. So he started 20th, won the first stage, finished 8th. Dylan Yeager, he also started 10th, finished 9th, so that's a good night for him. And then Matthew Corder, yourself, started 12th and finished 10th. So, that right there is crazy.
Around 20th.
Only 2 people that started in the top 10 finished in the top 10. I think that's crazy to think. I mean, continuing on to that, Zach Brandvold started 2nd, finished 17th. Kyle Heath started 6th, finished 22nd. Sam Dyer started 3rd, finished 25th. Joshua Parent started on the pole, finished 32nd. Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. I usually think of it when it comes to Daytona Talladega, like if you start up front, you can stay up front and stay out of all the mess usually, but that was not the case for some reason. I don't know. Like when we started, Gavin started actually right behind me. So I think Sam Dyer technically started in the pit. So I started technically in 3rd and Gavin in 5th. And Gavin wanted to drop back at first. And I was like, we're already up here. We might as well try to get the lead and try to control everything. So we tried for a couple laps and then it started to get like a little hairy kind of deal. And we're like, all right, let's just take it easy. We'll just ride and see what happens. And then everyone comes flying by us and we're just like normal riding. And I'm just like, I can't believe what's going on right now. Like there's going to be some mass wreck, and it never really came until the end of the stage, I believe.
Close, yeah. It was close to 22. The end of the stage.
Yeah, so I mean, it ended up ending the stage, and I was just like, I can't believe we waited this long to wreck. And then stage 2 starts, and I don't know, we're mid-20s or so, and we're like, all right, let's get our way up to the front. No one wants to wreck right now. We start making our way up to the front. Everyone dies in front of us and comes up into the wall, and it's just like, what can you do? It was a very weird super speedway race, just from my perspective, at least. It didn't feel like anything else, and maybe it's just because that car count, but we had like a close-ish car count at Talladega last season, and probably Daytona.
Yeah, we were definitely in the 30s last season for both of those. And I mean, when I qualified 28th, as soon as I saw that I was back that far, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to the front like I like to do. Because that's one of my strategies with Daytona Talladega is I like to get up front. I like to stay there. I don't like being in the back. I don't like being where the wrecks tend to start. So, and I was just going to chill with Carl and Johnny. I'm like, hey, let's just kind of chill back here, get together, and then slowly work our way up front later in the stage, if it works out that way. And it just... us 3 never got together really at all till I think near the end of the stage. Finally, we got in line. Yeah, we finally got in line near like lap 20. But other than that, we were just like, I wasn't driving aggressive. I was just driving in the line, just kind of chilling. And then all of a sudden I'm catching up with you, Steven, and Gavin and Jared. And I'm going, where is everybody going? I was really confused on how I was gaining positions because I didn't feel... I mean, I saw 2 cars drop to the apron and drop back, but those are the only 2 that I saw do that. So all the other positions I was gaining, I'm like, what is going on? I didn't know how I was moving up. But at the same time, I was really impressed there wasn't any wrecks that happened earlier than lap 22. And lap 22... that's when I think Corder gave an off-center push in the middle of the turn to Parent, and it checked him up drastically, and I was not expecting it because I like being kind of close, but I don't push in the turn. I'll push a pusher in the straightaway as long as they're, squared, but I will never touch him in the turn. And he just checked up insane amount, and I got into his rear end, which pushed him into parent, and that's what got parent squirrely and started the wreck. So, but yeah, no, impressive work by everybody to last 22 laps without a wreck. It was really insane to watch, really, to be honest. Very unexpected, very, very unexpected. So, I mean, it turned it out from being, a chill race for me, just kind of waiting to I'm passively passing people just because I'm following the right line.
Mm-hmm. And it was one of those nights where I felt like any line I jumped into, it just slowed down immediately once I changed over. It was just anything that just felt off was off, and it was just my own personal hell of sorts. But just some race stats real quick. An hour and 42-minute total time, 100 laps. 18 different leaders, so 18 drivers led a lap and got a bonus point, and 28 lead changes with a total of 6 cautions for incident, technically 7. There were 8 total cautions, but one was a natural stage, and one was a caution that brought out a stage yellow. Honestly, that is more cautions than I thought actually happened during the race, it felt like. I don't know if that was just because a couple of those cautions I was just praying for them to come out so I can go and fix damage kind of deal. And I just didn't really think about them, but yeah, that's something. Y'all want to get into the meatball of the week? Or
Sure, we can do that.
all right, let's go ahead and get into our wrong page. This page. So, all right, driver vote was officially Nick Renner with 46% over Zach King's 38%. So Nick Renner is our first driver vote of the meatball. Why is it typing like that?
Yeah, it's
All
definitely
right.
the first podcast of the season.
I guess I didn't have everything formatted right, and it's probably going to, it's going to do the same thing for everything else. All right, well, we'll figure it out as we go. But, Carl, we'll start with you next.
I take no pleasure in doing this, but I'm going to follow the driver vote. And I get it. He had some hardware/software issues, stuff like that. But usually when you're wrecking and you're going down pit road and then you start having hardware issues, most cases you want to try slowing up and not merging onto incoming traffic at 180 miles an hour. I think there was a dozen things he could have done to avoid that situation, and he didn't. And this is coming from someone who needed that caution to repair damage. I was in that wreck at lap 22 and had 8 minutes and 20 seconds of damage to repair, and it took every single caution. I think I chose one time, and that was the last caution of the race. Oh. But I was finishing repairing damage, so I needed that. But even though I needed that caution, it wasn't necessary.
And Richard, who are you going with for your meatball this week?
Yeah, that was a wild wreck from Nick Renner, but I'm gonna have to say probably the first egregious ARCA break of the night would have to go to the 21 of Cameron Carden, rookie. Welcome to the meatball of the week, my sir. But it was, I mean, I've experienced the same thing. I've done the same thing, where you see the wreck and it's like you just want to kind of drive through it and hope you make it through, and it just didn't look like he was slowing down. And he just drove straight into, I believe, what was Gray Walker, and that completely ended Gray Walker's night. I do believe he had too much damage to repair. So just gotta kind of, when you see smoke, and I mean, it's like I said, it's something I deal with also every now and then. You see smoke, just start getting off the gas and start getting on that brake, especially at Daytona.
Yeah, that's a good call. After seeing that on the the broadcast again, that was kind of crazy. But it's something that you got to learn from. And I'm going to go also with Nick Renner. I don't understand how the driver vote was so close. Zach King's incident with it was the same actually incident that Nick started by flying on pit road and coming off pit road. Zach had time to, I guess, slow down, but just chose the wrong move, and then it looked like an ARCA break, but I don't think he really could have gotten it slowed down. Whereas Nick's was completely avoidable. I think Richard, I brought this up the other day or after the race of Renner's reminded me of, I think it was Dave Blaney in like the 2007, either like Daytona 500 or like Pepsi 400, one of those races. Did a similar move where he drove onto pit road at like 150 miles an hour and tried to merge back onto the track. And I think he hit like Ken Trader or something like that. Someone's going to have to fact check me on that. But it reminded me exactly like that. And it was just, what are you doing? That's a very silly move to make. And if I was the one he got into, I would have lost it.
Yeah, I have the broadcast because I have a cell phone holder next to my my screens and everything. So I have the broadcast up for like when cautions happen, so I could see what happened if I missed it. And I
Mhm.
did. I looked down at the replay and I'm like, what caused that? And I'm like looking, I see everything spin at the pit road. I'm like, oh, okay, that shouldn't have caused a caution. What's going on here? Then it showed, Nick run, and I just kind of shook my head. I was like, what the world was that?
Yeah.
Not even an of course. It was just kind of like a what in the world was that? That's all it was. It was amusing to see, but at the same time, it's not a good look. So, but and I know Nick's in chat right now. He's mad he didn't get the Grand Slam. Sorry, Nick. I like choosing other drivers as well.
I love that Dustin's already calling for Nick to be People of the Year. He's definitely a front runner. That's for sure. But yeah, there you have it. The fan vote in there as well, or driver vote.
Also, if you guys would like, when we get back to camera, I'll show you. But the Meatball of the Week sticker. If you guys want one, get a hold of Rev. Give him your address. He will mail you a sticker for your Meatball of the Week vote nomination.
There you have it. So Nick, go get your sticker. Cameron, reach out to Rev, get your sticker.
Nick will get stickers. Nick will get stickers. Steven.
Now that he's determined to come to every race, we're gonna see if he can finish every race.
Oh, good Lord, no comment. I'm just still in awe.
Just so y'all know, the sticker is not a I love having this thing. It's not a go out and intentionally get it kind of thing. It's just fun to have.
You know what sticker I want? I want that winner sticker, damn it.
You can buy one on the Holler podcast, or not the Holler podcast, the BRB merch Holler Etsy shop for I think it's $11.99.
That's cheating.
That's
I need
not
to earn
cheating.
You can also get a meatball sticker. You can also get your favorite team's flag, your league merch, and hats as well. Shoot, what else do we have?
Pins,
polos, pins, glasses.
drinking glasses. I'm excited for that.
I'm really excited to see. I placed my
we
order
got drinking
today.
Glasses now?
We do. We have I guess you can call it like a Scotch-esque glass.
Oh, whiskey glass. Heck yeah.
Whiskey glass, yeah. Really excited to see what some of that stuff looks like.
That'll give me a reason to drink every Thursday.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm already giving you that reason.
I mean, you're not wrong. I could just reach behind me and grab a bottle. Koozie, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
I'm definitely going to be picking up the BRB Racing League flag and the Limitless flag for sure.
I'm really excited to see what those flags look like. I know a couple people have already ordered some flags. So whoever gets it in first, please post it into our league Discord. I'm really curious to see how they actually look in person as well. But with that, let's go over Texas. Let's pick a race winner for Texas, and then also we have to pick our playoff predictions, our beginning of the season playoff predictions as well after that. So,
oh boy, okay.
Oh, well, you want to go right to it? Okay, we can do that this way, Robert. Robert is calling the shots. Robert's calling the shots, and we're just going to go straight to picking who our chase drivers are for this season.
Oh boy.
And last season.
Wait, is this chase drivers or is this winners?
This is chase drivers.
Okay, because I was the 11.
Yeah, it's cut off. There's a 12th underneath it.
Okay.
Robert's working on it. But this will be our 12. And last season we each got 10 out of 12 correct, for in different positions and whatnot. But we'll see if anyone can beat that this year. And I know y'all probably haven't even really studied or thought about it, so I'm not even going to give y'all time to do that. And we're just going to jump right into it. And we're going to do it similar to how we did it last season. If you remember correctly, we went Carl, me, Richard, and then we snaked around. We're going to flip that now. So we're going to Richard, me, myself, Carl, and then Carl gets another pick, and etc. Make sense?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Richard.
Oh,
Go ahead
yeah.
and pick your first. And remember, there are some part-time drivers, specifically
yeah.
Mason and Gavin. Just wanted to clarify and not let y'all
Yeah,
pick
they're
either
not
of them.
they're not going to be eligible for it, I do
Correct.
believe. So,
Correct.
my first pick is going to be Johnny Wood Jr.
Johnny Wood Jr.
I
will
think
change
Johnny
these colors.
had a phenomenal run last year. He had an unfortunate event with lung infection for one of the middle of the chase, and I think he probably had the best chance at challenging Mason last season. So I think Johnny Wood Jr. on top this season.
That is exactly what I agree with.
Copycat. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, if Johnny's here each week and healthy and well, there's no reason he shouldn't be competing for the championship.
I am going to pick Isaiah Sutherland. I think he was in there in the top 3, top 4 for most of the chase, and he is an aggressive driver. So I know he's going to, especially if he's in a position to win a championship, I think he'll have those moves to pull out and definitely earn that championship. But for my second pick, I'm going to pick Johnny Wood Jr. I think I think Andrew Cardinale was definitely key in saying our big 3, our big 4: Isaiah Sutherland, Johnny Wood Jr., Mason Houseman, and I think Dustin Stallings was up in there. But I think between Isaiah and Johnny Wood Jr., those two guys are almost guaranteed to get far into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree entirely with your sentiment and go with Isaiah Sutherland as my second spot. I really feel like you could flip Johnny or Isaiah any given day. They'll both be up there battling for it, and that's really who I would think most likely to win out of anyone. Those two have got to be the heavy favorites.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but I think I'm actually going to go with Dustin Stallings in second over Isaiah. Just because I think Dustin, as long as he's got the monkey off his back to start the season off, I think he's going to have a more calm rest of the season. I think he learned a lot from Mason last season as well, so I think he could be an easy threat to challenge Isaiah for that second position. So I'm going to stick with Dustin Stallings in second, and I'm going to shock you all with the third, but I'm going to go with Jared Hughes.
It's funny that you
Jared
say you
had
think it's a shocker.
Super strong run in the championship last season, and I think he also can even best Isaiah in getting in the points.
I think it's forgotten that I think Jared has finished 4th in the standings every season. I believe season 1, 2, and 3 he finished 4th in each of them, and I feel like that gets overlooked a lot. So that might be a surprise to some people, but I really don't think it is. But I like the pick. Third is where it does get a little hard for me personally. I'm going to go with Adam Buzzio. And obviously Daytona was not a great start for him, but it's Daytona 1. He could have finished last anyways, regardless, if he didn't have any technical issues, for all we know. And it's only one race; it can be his drop race. And I think last season he ran into some bad luck, more so than he's accustomed to, and it showed with his standing result wasn't as where he wanted it to be. So I think this season that flips for him, and he's right up there with them.
And it's funny you mentioned the points, because I remember last season we started at Atlanta, and believe it or not, I ran all races last season, Atlanta was my drop week. With more and more drivers coming in, it's going to be tougher and tougher to break into the playoffs and then still continue to have good runs. One of those drivers that I know, and I think Richard hit it on the head, is Dustin Stallings. He's my 3 pick there. He's already started off really well, and he's always up at the front one way or the other. So I think Dustin's a strong pick for the playoffs. And then my 4th pick, I don't know if any of his fan base are earing right now, but I'm picking Gray Walker again. He didn't disappoint me last season. He impressed me, and Braxy Tack keeps saying that he's going to get his win this season. So I'm going to put some money on Gray Walker making the playoffs 2 seasons in a row here in the BRB Buttkicker Cup Series.
And I hope he does get that win this season. He's been close and consistent and fast a number of times last season. So we're looking for a Gray Walker win and a Carl Pooler win this season. And I think those might be battling for the most popular win of the season.
I think we've been saying that for 4 seasons now.
Hey, but if we keep saying it, it will happen.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It will happen eventually, I promise.
It'll happen, Carl. I got my 2 finally.
With my 4th, I'm going to go with where Richard had 3rd and go Jared Hughes, and go 4 straight years of him finishing 4th.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm going to go with y'all's picks up there with Isaiah Sutherland in the 4th. I still think he's going to be a really strong pick for the chase run. I think he's going to be up top as well with those guys. But I think he's going to be 4th, and I'll round out the forever 5th driver now, and the number 5 himself, Adam Buzzio, will get into the 5th position. So I think he's going to have a fire under his tires next week, since his computer wanted to shit the bed this week. So I think Adam Buzzio can make a really strong run the rest of the season.
Definitely. And with my 5th, I'll put in Dustin Stallings here as well. I mean, he's shown. We knew when he first came into this league that he had speed. Obviously, he had connection issues a lot, which hampered a lot of his runs, unfortunately, early on. But it seems like the connection issues have stabilized, and he's gotten into his rhythm of, I believe he won 2 races last season, if I'm not mistaken. Starting this season off with a win in the first race is a great start. And I think he's going to ride that momentum right into the playoffs. Or the chase, sorry.
I'm gonna go with Richard again on this. Adam Buzzio. Not only does he have a fire under his butt, as it were, with having PC issues, Daytona, he has a baby on the way. He has a new promotion. He has a lot going on, but I feel like Adam is one of those guys who takes that energy, takes all that stress, and funnels it constructively into his iRacing. So I think he can make a deep run into the playoffs this year. And then with my 6th pick.
I thought you were saying my name for 5th. I was like, wait, what?
Oh man, my 6th pick here. Actually,
now it starts getting.
yeah. Now it gets a little fuzzy. Brendan Maddox. I think he has the speed. He's aggressive, sometimes reckless. He does make some questionable moves, but most of the time it ends up in his favor. So I feel like if he were to have even a marginal gap to the leader halfway through the chase, Brendan Maddox could be a contender.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot, and that's actually who I was going to go in my 6th slot as well. He had a great season last season. I don't remember, was it 2nd or 3rd in points he finished? It's a little fuzzy, but I know it was somewhere right in there, and he was in the conversation there at the end. But a tremendous season for him. If he can keep that consistency, he has the speed most weeks, and he can hang up there with the best of them.
Well, I think for 6th, I'm going to go with you, Steven. I think you've got a lot of speed still behind you. You perform really well dang near every single race, with the exception of our opener at Daytona. Unfortunate events there, but that's just super speedway racing for you, in the words of not Denny Hamlin, since that was short track racing. But okay, and now for 7th. Let's see here. Why has this got to be so hard now? I will probably have to put. I'm gonna say Brendan Maddox. I think he's still got some speed in him. I think he's going to perform really well again this season. So I think he'll be up there at least 7th.
Good deal. And then with my 7, I will go ahead and slot myself as well. The one problem with just keep getting more drivers, it makes it harder for people like me that are like decent, but not Johnny Isaiah level. We're just like that. It's that next tier, and I don't mean that by any disrespect to anyone else, but you guys know what I mean. And I really think anyone from 5th to 12th could finish anywhere within that range. Even a little bit further, probably more like 5th to 16th. But yeah.
Ooh, number 777. Oh. I want to put Richard Wolsifer on there. And this is, take it as you will, Richard. You were in the top 10 almost all race long at Daytona. Very minimal damage throughout the race. You kept your nose clean. If you can keep that up, you keep that momentum, you definitely have a run at the championship there. So I think Richard is a solid 7 pick, and then 8 pick. I'm going to pick yourself, Steven, because like you said, without some bad luck, kind of towards the end of the regular season there, you probably could have had a couple more points in your pocket for the chase. So yeah, I think you're a solid pick for my 8.
And this is where it gets really difficult now, I feel. You know what? I'm going to go off of what you already have, Carl, and I'm going to go with Gray Walker at my 8. Basically, a lot of what you said is he has a lot of speed, and he's very consistent week to week. I know he didn't have the Daytona that he wanted, but he's fast each week, and which gives him a shot to run well and even compete for wins. So we're going Gray Walker at the 8.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna go with you on that one as well for Gray Walker at 8th. I mean, he made a severe impact last season, and I think he can continue doing that with just as if he just keeps getting better and better every race. So he's definitely going to be up there still in the chase. I think he'll be up there again for 2 straight seasons as with his 2nd season with us. So for 9, yeah, I think I'll go with myself with 9. I still think I can squeak into the top 10 of the chase. I mean, last season, even the broadcast said if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. And I had a lot of really bad moments at the end of the season last season. So I'm hoping not to make those mistakes again and stay out of trouble and keep some top 10 runs coming.
So my 9 is kind of a educated guess, is what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to go with Kyle Heath. I say this, one, and this doesn't necessarily mean much of anything, but his iRating, sorry. And 2, what I've heard by what Isaiah has said about him. I think Isaiah was one of the guys, or the main person that reached out to him, invited him into the league, basically. And if Isaiah is saying someone has speed from someone that has as much speed as he does, I'm going to assume the same for Kyle. Again, Daytona, we didn't learn anything about that, but we will see in these coming weeks if that plays out.
Ooh, all right. Number 9, I'm going to say Evan Patinko. He did not have a great start at Daytona, but we noted his momentum at the end of last season. He was really making points, getting stage points, being in the right spot at the right time for the most part. So Patinko is my number 9. Number 10, as we get further and further down the list here. Ooh, ...
Yeah, these last three are difficult.
I'm gonna say Scott Fritz because I know he has speed. He's really, really aggressive. But if he can kind of balance that aggressiveness with some precision and just a little bit of I don't know, respectful racecraft. If I'm trying to be nice, I really think he has a lot of what it takes to be a championship here in the BRB Buckkicker Cup Series.
And just remember, he missed the chase last season by I think only like 6 points. I beat him by
Yeah,
6
barely.
points, so
Yep.
he was
Yep.
right there on the cusp of being in.
Yeah, it's a very solid pick. I think with my 10, I'm gonna go with Richard Wolsifer yourself. I feel like you are consistent enough as long as the luck does not turn against you, to make it in comfortably. And then from there on out, once you get in, who knows where you're going to finish? Of like I was saying, anywhere between 5th and 16th between a lot of these guys. So I'm going to slot you in at 10.
Right. I think 10th is going to be another guy that has always fought to be in the chase, and Jamie Plord. He's always got speed. He's always up there running close to the top 10s. I think he'll be able to squeak into the top 10, top 12 this time to get in this chase. So 11th, I'm gonna have to go with Evan Patinko. I know I've pretty much gotten a lot of household names on my list, with the exception of Gray, who's in his second season with us. But I mean, I've seen how all these guys race. I see how fast they are, and I see the effort they make to try to make the chase. So who knows? Maybe my 12th pick will be someone that's not a household name.
Man, dude, this is so difficult. Really looking at this down again. Man, oh man. You know what? With my 11, he is here every week. And I might regret this if something comes up and he's unable to make a majority of the races, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go with Patrick Hernandez.
Ooh,
That's
Um,
that's a really solid pick, honestly.
that's a bold pick.
It's bold in the case of he isn't necessarily always here. And last season in cases, he wrecked out pretty early, unfortunately. But when Patrick gets to the end of these races and he runs a full race, he has top 5, if not top 3 speed a majority of the time. Like he has that top end talent, and can really get it done. So I really think as long as he's here and he's participating, and again, he can't possibly have that kind of luck that he had last season. So with that out the window, he would get in.
And I think I can compare Patrick Hernandez to like Kyle Larson in a sense. Like he's got a lot of speed, he's really fast. It's just a lot of the issues he gets involved is kind of almost self-inflicted or just
Right.
wrong decision making or anything like that. But yeah, no, that's a solid pick. I agree with you on that one.
Ooh, P11.
All right, Carl, your
Hooray.
last two.
My last two picks here. All right, I'm gonna go Kyle Heath in my number 11 because I didn't know all these facts until Steven put them out there. But then I decided to look further into it. Kyle qualified 6th at Daytona.
Yep.
And usually, at least in my experience, if you can qualify in the top 10 at a super speedway race, you got speed no matter where you go. So I
You know
think Kyle
something
Heath.
others don't.
Speed
Exactly.
ain't everything.
No, but you know how to
You
make
get
your
that
time
speed in
the
the
best. You
first
know how to get
place.
those extra tenths or extra
Yes.
hundredths.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, okay. I'll throw him out there. Zachary Brandvold, number 12. He qualified second, so outside pole row. Zachary Brandvold, he was a sleeper last season. I know he had some rough luck as well, and even in the chase or the chase, it was definitely tough for him. So I think he has an outside shot to make it.
Man, I feel terrible that we only have 12 now. Like just because.
And you know what's funny is I got asked by a few people in DMs if we were upping the count
I mean,
And I
I
was like,
guess
we
it's a
never
valid
talked about it. It's
question,
still
but
12. But
yeah, it's a valid question. But based on, I mean, last year we started with the same car count, and 12 was
Mhm.
decided because we don't want to make it to where half the field
Mhm.
makes the chase, because then there's no real value, or it devalues the regular season a little bit, if everyone gets a participation trophy at the end of the season, unfortunately. But I mean, especially once we get into the nitty gritty of the schedule, and later race 7, race 8, we're usually down to around 30 cars, and I'm probably expecting something similar to that again.
Carl just got called out. Carl Dennis
No
Jr. used for the
shit.
second season in a row.
See, but
Damn
it's stuff
it.
like that. Like, I
I know
mean,
I was forgetting someone, but seriously, look at the talent that's on all of these lists right now. Like, Jared, I am sorry, buddy. You are a sleeper, man, and I have no other compliment than that.
Oh,
but like, no matter who I pick here, like, I'm gonna list off a couple names of who I'm like really am thinking about for this spot. I mean, I'm looking at Evan Patinko, looking at Dakota Camper. I'm looking at Scott Fritz, Joshua Parent. I know he's run a couple races with us in previous seasons, and he was also bad fast. I know he got wrecked out in both of those races, and Daytona wasn't great for him, but he was really fast on the majority of our tracks. Um, Jamie Plord, Zachary Brandvold. I'd even throw Coulter Clark, yourself, Carl. Like, there's 8 to 10 names I'm thinking of right now that could really fit into this spot, and it makes it really difficult.
I agree with you so much on that.
I really just want to defer to you right now, but I can't. Um, Shoot, dude. You know what? I'm gonna go with an OG, someone that's been here a long time. Actually hasn't missed any races, and that's Evan Patinko.
A true
Uh,
Iron Man.
Yeah, true Iron Man. I think is the chip on his shoulder from just barely missing out last season.
And now it's me.
The last pick.
I know, I know. Oh, and that's the problem is, I mean, Steven hit the nail on the head there, man. There's just so much talent throughout this field. Like, we know for the most part that the top 5, not necessarily easy, but it's not overly difficult to pick, our top 5. It's when you start getting further down that it's like, dude, anybody can be in these spots because everybody is close to the same skill level at all sorts of different tracks. And it's so hard. And like, I hate that we're doing this, and like it's hard to, because we didn't run a lot of recruitment races, so
Oh
we didn't
yeah,
get to see what a lot of these rookies
we really don't know
could
what the
do on
rookies
other
are.
tracks. So we don't know who they are, and it's hard for me to pick a rookie. Like, I know Kyle Heath has got the I rating behind him, but I mean, I guarantee you a lot of the drivers in this league, they don't have that I rating to show that they're fast. They don't do officials. So I'm going to have to stick with a household name with my last pick. And oh god, I'm gonna have to go Scott Fritz. He, like I said, he barely missed out of it last season. I think he's got something to prove. A dirt guy coming to the asphalt, doing fantastic work. And like I said, it was. I mean, I even got caught up in a wreck, and almost got DQ'd basically at IRP last, or whatever the last race of the regular season was. So I'm gonna have to go Scott Fritz on it for my 12th and final pick, and that's my 12 picks for the chase.
Man, well, there you have it. That's whoever wants to take a screenshot if you want to hold us accountable, so I don't delete anything and change all my answers to the right answers at the end of the season. But no, that's all of our top 12s. Sorry if your name wasn't picked in our top 12, but hopefully that gives you some motivation to prove us wrong at the end of the season and make us look like idiots. Uh,
All
Robert,
right, now hold
in our
on.
ear.
Before we exit out of this, we had the competition last season. Who's going to win this season, Sam Dyer or Robert Moyer Jr.?
Yeah, it's not even close.
Oh man.
Who's going to points? Who's going to win in points?
Okay. Hear this out. Robert Moyer Jr. finished 23rd at Daytona. Sam Dyer finished 25th at Daytona.
Are we gonna
So,
have a close one between those two again?
Of
already
course.
2-point difference. But Sam Dyer did start third at Daytona.
But started in the pits.
Yeah, he did start in the pits.
Well, that's his. He
That
made
is
that
his
mistake
signature.
himself.
Sam says by a mile, like I did last season.
I don't think it was by a
Ooh.
mile per se.
But I'm gonna go with Sam Dyer between the two.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Robert. Honestly,
I don't know. After Robert's questionable
Drives into a
Arca
wreck in the
break,
triangle.
yeah,
Well-
we need to definitely be careful about that one.
hey, who knows? Maybe Sam's gonna go on one of his vocal tirades again over the radio, and maybe he'll be suspended for a race.
Oh man,
I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, or that has happened, but who knows? I'm glad I don't.
Oh man. But
And then
I
he
did take
finds a
it.
way to say something.
I did take a screenshot of the 12 pick'ems for the chase and
Oh,
posted it
boy.
in general, so everybody who did miss the podcast can see.
Can hate us. Okay, awesome. Awesome,
And now we're held accountable.
Well, without further ado, let's move on to Texas next week. So Texas next week we have.
Legacy Texas.
Thank you. I should have pulled this up again. First episode of the season, out of my groove. We are going to Legacy, Texas for the U.S. Aviation Academy 250, which is, I believe the stages are 40, 40, and then to the end is lap 165.
That is correct. Stage 1 lap 40, stage 2 lap 80, and we will go to lap 165 to finish
Another
the race.
85. Awesome. And again, obviously no fast repairs. Did Adam say how many sets of tires we have?
5 sets of tires in the pits, so we will have
5 in
6
pits.
total. The one you start with, and then 5 in the pits. We
think
have a
that is
VRS
still-
setup, or no, we don't have a VRS setup. We have a setup somewhere.
Yes,
They're
we do have
practicing
a
it right
setup.
now.
Exactly. Yeah, they're figuring it out right now, and we'll have that information out, or Adam will have that information out as soon as possible. Legacy Texas, we ran season 2.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it was a more popular race than a lot of people were thinking it was going to be. And I mean, we saw this past week in Cup. I know it's a little bit different of track now because the reconfiguration and such. But it is a treacherous track, and even Legacy Texas in the sim in the next gen is a very treacherous, bumpy track. It's very difficult, especially in turn 3. I think we had a lot of incidents. Sam mentions that it's hard to pass. I don't recall it being that big of an issue to pass. I just remember
yeah.
it was a very fast track, and people would just make mistakes more than anything. Well,
Oh yeah.
so Robert's saying turn 1 has a bump on the high side. I know turn 3 still has that bump. Both where those tunnels are. I think that just tells you how great the soil is in Texas. That you can repave a track, and it's ridiculous. But looking
Statman
back,
coming in.
Yeah. looking back
the
to
Legacy-
season 2, Mason Houseman was our last winner. Sorry, Carl. Just wanted to get that out. And Carl, yourself, you finished second.
That was on tire strategy, and also Texas Legacy in season 2 was the very first BRB Brawl race. And
Wow.
I know this because Mason won it and was sad he wasn't in it because I took the points lead in the BRB Brawl race with my second place finish at Texas.
There you go. Well, that's an interesting fact right there. Again, our factoid man, Carl Pooler. We did have a total of 18 cars in that race. So again, we've come a long way. We're probably expecting, let's double that for next week, at least probably 36, give or take. I remember this race as I think Brendan Maddox was on his way to winning it. And I got in an incident, I think, on the next to last lap before the white flag came out and the caution came out. And we had to re-rack for a green-white checkered. And I think that's when he ended up losing it. And I felt bad at the time because obviously I don't think Brendan had a win. Like that was good. That was for his first win in the Butt Kicker Cup series, and I remember him being very fast. You are probably right, Robert, that the Freaky Fast was covering this race. I'll have to go back in YouTube and rewatch it. From what I remember the track being a lot of fun. I remember being really fast, and it was just a good time. And I think we can expect some of the same. I don't remember tire wear information. I'm sure tires are probably going to be very important, similar to like a Charlotte or even a Legacy Atlanta.
I think it shreds the tires pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Is
high speed mile and a half.
That's how I got second place. I decided to pit because there was only like 10 or 9 cars on the lead lap, so I pit, and with fresh tires, I was able to go to 9th to 2nd in 2 laps. So,
Well, I'll have you
it's gonna
know,
be
15 cars finished on the lead lap that race.
Yeah, Carl.
Oh well, then that makes my second place finish way more impressive. All right.
And that 15th place person, you know what? You want to know who it was?
Stephen Barbell.
Richard Wolsifer.
Oh.
Let's go.
But
hey, you know what?
also,
I'm just sad that the 2 wins that I have in the BRB Racing League come to the two tracks that we will never race again, more than likely, and that upsets me
Yeah.
so much.
it's because you wanted them. We don't want.
That's the exact reason. So you know
Exactly.
what? I'll just win every single track from now on, and then we got to force to race some race that I've.
You know, that totally eliminates, the admin bias. Is Richard has won 2 races and we don't race there anymore. So yeah, there is no admin bias here.
That's a good point. Another important thing to note is Johnny Wood Jr. did lead 142 out of the 170 laps last time we were here. I remember him dominating both stages, and I don't know why he ended up falling back. Maybe it was kind of like
Tire strategy.
Yeah, a tire
Mhm.
strategy sort of situation. But I think that was Johnny's first race when he came onto the scene. Basically, that was after Daytona season 2. It was our second race of the season, I believe, that season as well. Third race of the season, sorry. It was after that Richmond fiasco.
Oh, jeez.
Jared
Yeah,
Hughes only win in the BRB
Yep.
series.
Jared Hughes win in a 24 caution Richmond race. But
See,
Yeah.
Jared wants a dirt race back. Just saying.
I mean, he's also a dirt guy. He's a dirty man. But I don't have anything else to input. Anyone else have anything to input about Texas before we pick our winner?
It's a very
No.
rough race. You're gonna have to worry about tire wear. I think even with that finish at the end, I want to say there was only like 15 laps on older tires, and there's a lot of space to be made up in that amount of time. So I think tire strategy is going to be important. Knowing where you are, knowing where you can pass. I do know that outside line did not come in very well unless you had a marginal advantage on tires, so that's tough as well. So it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see a lot of comers and goers who can save and who is fast, and who can save while being fast is gonna be, probably up there at the end, contending for the win.
I'm excited to be back on our typical oval style racing for us. So
Same
I
here.
mean, Daytona's fun, but now we're gonna see, like Carl said, who's fast and who can save.
We get into the real part of the schedule. Is it Texas, Iowa, Michigan?
Is it Michigan?
Yep.
I believe
I looked
it's
at it
in that
today.
order.
It's hilarious.
Daytona, Texas, Iowa, Michigan, and then Coda.
Yeah. So we get into a normal, quote unquote, normal NASCAR schedule. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pick our winner. If you're still here and in chat with us, go ahead and pick your winner for Texas. And we will try to tally the votes, and we'll decide if there's a tie between drivers with the most votes. We'll figure it out. But go ahead and in the chat, pick who you have winning at Texas, and we will start off. Do we remember? Did any of us win, or did we all tie last season?
I
We all
got
tied
2.
last season.
You all got 1.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's exactly what it was.
All right, Carl. Well, with that being said, you get to pick first then. And
Ooh,
I would like to do no repeats. Like
no repeat. Oh, okay,
we cannot pick the same driver.
okay.
The driver or the fan vote, driver vote, whatever, they can pick whoever they want.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real way they can control that. Whoever
Yeah.
wins that popular vote.
But
But
well, with the exception of a part-time driver, we have to pick full-time drivers, and we have to be different.
gotcha. All right. Ooh. Now I need to be really more calculative about my picks here. Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, man. This is gonna be tough. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put Brendan Maddox on there because he was in first. He was in pole position, I think, if I remember correctly, in that last restart 2 seasons ago. On that last restart, and he lost it because Mace was able to drive the outs around the outside. Because if I remember correctly, I gave Mason a little bit of a push. So I think Brendan has some tricks up his sleeve here.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Started second last time we were here, finished third, almost won. Nothing wrong with that. Richard, I'll let you go second.
All right, I'm gonna go a very biased pick here, but Johnny Wood Jr.
Yeah, I
I mean,
figured.
he dominated season 2. I think just because he made one small mistake on a strategy call is what kind of sacrificed his win for the win 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. And I'm gonna go with Dustin Stallings to go back to back kick off the season. Finished 7th here last time we were here. I think I saw screenshots the other day of Maddox, or not Maddox, Maverick Motorsports, Maddox Motorsports, Meatball Motorsports, Maverick Motorsports, but Maverick Motorsports practicing already at Texas before even Daytona. I don't know if that was just for screenshot purposes or if that was anything addition to that. But Dustin also is, I feel like I say this almost every week or when we go to tire saving tracks. He's one of the best tire savers in the league, and also with the speed combination to that, I feel like that really suits him. So Dustin Stallings is my pick, and let's see. I'm trying to look at the fan vote here. So we've got a Johnny Wood Jr. We've got King. It's hard to discern.
I see 2 for King, 2 for Johnny.
But Jared changed his answer to the better Maddox.
Oh, what the hell? Come on, Jared. Get it together.
Oh, wait. Can't I just put up a poll? I can.
Yeah, ooh. Do it. Do it now.
I'll do it now.
I'll put up a poll with the names I see the most prevalent.
What is that? King, Johnny Wood, and Brendan Maddox?
Oh, apparently, Braxy Tad is throwing Walker's name in the ring.
Of course. All right, here we go.
Johnny gonna get pooed on lap 12.
Poll started. I'll give you all a couple minutes to vote on that poll for who is going to win Texas.
Also, Andrew's a little sad that Whiplash got no love for the top 12.
Well, we could have told him getting the Renner is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to listen.
Exactly.
You're the one that brought a grenade to your team.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then had to try to figure out how to defend his meatball of the week move.
Oh man, and it's funny because that's Andrew there said it in the broadcast, like, oh man, that's a questionable move.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I mean, going back to it again, I really think Joshua Parent has a lot of speed and could show a lot of potential if he's there, 1, for all the races, and 2, if he doesn't get wrecked or get involved in a wreck. Obviously Matthew Corder, big fan favorite, I think, and his triumphant return to the Butt Kicker Cup Series um, is someone that everyone can get along with. And then the fourth, it's Cameron Carden, I believe,
hmm
and I just don't know anything about him being a rookie, and it's very difficult. Well, right now we have a tie between, of
Jesus.
course, 8 votes, and a tie between King and Johnny Wood Jr.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I didn't
so-
vote because I already voted. So
I refused voting, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try to withhold and try to see if we can get that tie-breaking vote. Want to mention Gray Walker and Brendan Maddox each got 1 vote. King and Johnny Wood Jr. each got 3 votes thus far.
also I just placed an order in our hauler.
I
Merchandise.
saw my credit card got charged, so I saw.
I'm sorry.
Jared saying we forgot about Camper in the chase. We didn't forget, unfortunately.
That's how
definitely didn't forget.
competitive
That's-
that the chase is gonna be. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's gonna be cutthroat.
Like I
I don't
know
think any
Jared's
of us are gonna
upset I
get
didn't
10
pick him,
10 right
but
this
yeah,
season.
it's gonna be tough.
I know each of us got 10 right last season. I'd be surprised if we got 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think 7 is going to be the right number that we got right.
Although we all learned from last season, no one picked me, so that's hilarious.
I wanted to,
there's a
Carl.
reason.
I really did.
I wanted to, but you didn't give me a reason to.
Oh man, see, I wasn't even gonna lie because Daytona, on that first one, I spent all race. I got to choose 1 time during the Daytona race, and that was the last freaking restart.
Man, when I found out you had your damage early on in the race, I was like, his luck is spilling over into this season
I
already.
know.
Dude, the
Man.
broadcast kept talking about my misfortune from last season. They're like, the luck is spilling to here. And I'm like, I barely got into a wreck, guys. It's fine.
Lucky.
Like,
I would have
well,
been
mean,
fine
the
if it wasn't for that Willie Z car coming in and
Yeah,
slamming me on my left rear or left front. Man, that I think that's what hurt me the most.
Yeah, that lap 22 wreck, I got like 1 minute and 5 seconds of damage. So I was like, oh, that's not bad, whatever. And then after that, the other wrecks that I was involved in, I only got 10 more seconds from one of the wrecks. All the other ones were nothing. So it was just kind of like, I'm okay.
I see people joining and leaving the stream. I just want to also mention, if you haven't voted for who your winner for Texas is going to be, please vote. I want to see a tie broken. I don't want to have to pick between the two because, I mean, if I
No.
have to pick. All right, go ahead, Robert. Put us in. Oh, you already picked? Oh, now we have a 3-way tie. Oh, tie's broken. Tie is broken
Eye is
officially.
broken.
We have a new pope. The ballots are in.
Zach King was picked by the viewers.
Wow. All right. Zach King, no pressure, buddy, but you need to win this
Oh.
race.
Oh boy.
Gosh.
Wow.
Robert Murray Jr., official tiebreaker.
The
Taking
official-
on
that's a
duty.
good. I think that's a good idea.
Zachy King. I like it.
Sorry.
No, he needs to officially change his name to Zachy King.
Zachy King. Well, there you have it. Ending the poll there. Oh, it ended tied technically now, but it was there. I had a chance to close it earlier, but it is technically officially tied. We'll do a recount. And Zach King is your winner. Wow. What if this is just gonna be a troll for y'all each week? I might reobserve this right.
Yeah, right.
Imagine we're gonna get 8 weeks in. Zachary King, Zachary King, Zachary King, Zachary King, Zachary King, Zachary King.
You know,
think-
if they choose them enough, they'll be right eventually. Come on.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with the NASCAR Weekly podcast done by like some YouTubers, some NASCAR YouTubers and such. They had a similar thing where they had like their comment section vote on who's going to like win each NASCAR race each week. And I
Oh
forgot
no.
which driver it was that they
Hocevar,
picked each
Hocevar,
week.
Hocevar,
Well,
Hocevar.
it was something like goofy like that. It was like Austin Dillon, or it was like maybe it was like Eric Almirola at times and stuff like that. It was just insane long shots is all I'm going to say.
Anthony Alfredo.
Right. Like it was just goofy. Hey, Sam, you watch your mouth. Sam saying them trolling and us actually picking, and we'll all end tied.
Is he wrong though?
No, I mean, if we pick, we get the top 3 picks essentially. So it's like one of those is going to hit a majority of the time. King hasn't won a non-super speedway or non-drafting track.
Yeah, and he can thank Gavin Rogers for that win.
Yeah, it was so funny with Daytona. Gavin was getting so frustrated with just not being able to move anywhere at times. He was like, "I need to find Zach King. I'm just going to start pushing him. I'm just so mad right now. I'm going to push him to the front." It's like, please don't do that again.
And he did it for the win. Oh man. Well, it's good to be back and doing this.
Oh, it was very nice to be back. I think that's a good place. That's perfect, honestly.
That's honestly, yeah.
But I think that's a good place to wrap up. Robert wasn't the meatball of the week, Sam. I mean, if Nick didn't do what he did, there's a possibility. But is that your goal each week, Robert? Oh, that is a really good question, Braxton.
Oh yeah. Because we never announced what that prize was either.
No,
I've never had any trivia tonight. What the hell's going on?
I didn't know.
No, well,
Yeah, I don't know if trivia is going to be a thing this season. Yeah, restructuring and making our processes more efficient is what we're going to call it.
processes.
We're downsizing due to tariffs.
Downsizing due to tariffs. Oh Jesus.
That's
But
great.
I really don't know right now, Braxton. I'm gonna have to spend some time and dig into that, and I can't promise you when that will happen. So at some point I'll look into it and say something in the Discord about it, and we'll figure it out from there. But I know it was pretty close. I want to say between yourself, Braxton. I want to say Brendan was there. Eric Jensen was probably up there. But again, that's just me spitballing based off who had been answering. So I'll try to figure that out at some point. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in for the first episode of season 4. Glad to be back racing. Glad to be back with the BRB family each week. And other than that, obviously, want to shout out our sponsors again. Butt Kicker, Leader in Haptics, Sundance Pizza. Thank you all for coming back with us. Ideal Lease, Sundance Pizza again. Ideal Lease, Ascendance Trucks, RevSimShop.com, Maddox Graphics, obviously, Performance Food Group, and Advanced GG. Promo code for Advanced GG, 10% off your order. All your proceeds go directly back into the league. Is WolfX Live 10. And also, don't forget to get your BRB merch at the BRB Merch Hauler Etsy store, just like Richard just did recently. It's costing me an arm and a leg.
Sorry.
Yeah, geez, thank you. Oh yeah, all links are in the description below. Thank you.
Well, how about that?
Robert, for reminding me of that. But yeah, we'll catch y'all next week at Texas for the U.S. Aviation Academy 250. It'll be a good time, and then we'll be back here next Thursday at our normal time, 9 o'clock. Hopefully, actually 9 o'clock right on the dot, and we'll be more prepared to just talk about the league and hang out. But you know what time it is.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up. Or you'll die.
Die.
We'll catch y'all next week. Thank you guys.